Hello, housing providers. Welcome to another episode of the Fair Housing Insiders. Today, we're going to be continuing our two-part series on recognizing and preventing harassment in property management. Let's dive in. Hello, housing providers and property managers. I'm Michael Coughlin with the Fair Housing Institute, and this is another episode of the Fair Housing Insiders, and we're continuing our very important two-part series on recognizing and preventing harassment in property management. We're going to be focusing on another part of this topic, which is employees harassing residents. The legal exposure is significant, and the responsibility to prevent it is non-negotiable. With us today is a fair housing attorney, Leslie Tucker. Leslie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, as always, glad to be here.
So let's go ahead and start and dive in and discuss why this is such a high risk issue. Like, what makes employee harassment of residents such a serious fair housing violation?
So employee harassment of a resident is so serious under the Fair Housing Act because it results in a resident feeling, uncomfortable, threatened, and vulnerable in their own home. This is where a person is really supposed to feel the most safe. And when they're experiencing a hostile environment, it can cause, complete withdrawal of that person or the opposite, perhaps someone not even wanting to spend any time in their community.
And when the harasser is someone in a position of authority, like a maintenance technician, leasing agent, or a manager, that is probably going to make it worse, right?
Yeah, that's what kind of makes this so different from resident on resident harassment. When the harassment is coming from a person with authority over the resident, it can result in the terms of their tenancy being completely altered. So for example, the resident may not want to request maintenance services anymore, right, for fear of being harassed, or may not want to report incidents to the manager out of fear of further harassment. The simple act of going to pay rent may be too stressful, right? So sometimes it can be confusing as to who to report harassment to when it's a staff person with authority over that resident.
Yeah, a really terrible scenario. It's a place where people are supposed to feel safe and at home. And if they can't do that, that just kind of makes everything in your life more difficult. So what are some examples of employee behavior that you think would qualify as harassment under the Fair Housing Act?
Really, any offensive or threatening comment or gesture that relates to the resident's protected category, which would be any of the 7 federally protected categories or any of your locally protected categories. And just as a quick reminder, the 7 federally protected categories are race, color, religion, national origin, sex, familial status, or disability. So some specific examples could be repeatedly asking a resident out on a date or making sexual comments to the resident, making a derogatory comment to a resident about them being from a certain country. Another one could be telling a resident who asked for a reasonable accommodation that they're really faking their disability, right? So any of these all involve protected categories and could be considered harassment.
And let's talk about liability here. Is in this scenario, is just the individual the one that's liable, or can the company be held liable as well?
Absolutely both. So while a company could attempt to separate themselves from an employee who engaged in this type of behavior, ultimately, both the company and the employee would most likely be named in any legal action, and certainly both could be held liable.
So how can, if I am a housing provider, I own a property management company, how can I prevent this? What kind of policies or training is really going to make the difference?
So I think this is the most important part. Most companies require training on sexual harassment in the workplace, right? That's a pretty typical onboarding procedure that everyone receives this kind of training. But generally, this training doesn't focus on other types of harassment or on employee on resident harassment. All staff should know what constitutes harassment under the Fair Housing Act. For example, what one employee may consider to be friendly, a resident may consider to be offensive. So training on that is really important. It's also important for employees to know that sexual harassment isn't the only type of illegal harassment. And often that's kind of all they know. That's all they hear. So when an employee brings their personal bias to work with them regarding religion, race, national origin, and those opinions spill out while they're interacting with residents, there can be serious consequences for that employee and for their company. And maybe they just didn't know and they weren't trained. So it's highly recommended that every company have a policy that addresses employee on resident harassment, and on the flip side, resident on employee harassment, and that all the staff are trained on that policy.
And if a resident makes a complaint, how should leadership respond to avoid making things worse?
So when a HUD complaint involves harassment, this is one of the first questions that HUD asks. How does a resident know who to contact if they need to make a report of harassment? And how did the company respond to that complaint? Acknowledging the complaint is the first step, okay? And also making sure not to discourage reporting or doing anything to imply that you don't believe the person. That's really important to kind of get the ball rolling. Leadership should always take all reports of harassment seriously and do whatever they can to investigate the allegation. So, and the actions taken in response will obviously vary with the circumstances, right? All the reports are going to be a little bit different. But staff counseling, issuing disciplinary notices, taking measures to keep the employee and the resident apart, and perhaps ensuring that a witness is always present going forward are some options that could be available. But doing nothing is never an option.
Absolutely. Harassment is never acceptable in any type of housing. And when it comes from an employee, the responsibility to act is even greater. This is definitely one of those scenarios where, if you work on a property, you see something, you need to say something. One of the ways that you'll know what to look out for and what to say is by keeping up with channels like this. We've got a lot of different fair housing videos on all different topics, and we love to educate our community and keep you guys engaged. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, ring that bell for the notifications so you know when a new episode is coming out. And we hope to see you on one of our next videos. Happy training.